it's not ideal for all of you to be men, but what are your thoughts on this? Is it actually her body and her choice, or?
All right.
Okay, in my opinion, it's not good idea because it's not a human's body. They are just trying to kill a new, just somebody who gonna become um, a life-changing person to this world, or somebody, or they are just killing people, which is not their right. Their right is to prevent from consumption, and they have no right to kill innocent guy because it is a human being, right? So it's, in my opinion, it's murderer.
Actually, I'm professionally like midwife, or I'm a lecturer of midwife, so I do have a lot of information about abortion. Since it is my profession, I can say a lot of things about it. Yeah, from the beginning, when we say abortion, abortion is it is a state when um, the baby in the womb is going to be terminated, or when the pregnancy is going to be terminated before 7 months or 28 weeks. This is in our country, but in the world, Western use 20 weeks and also less than zero point 0.5 gram of like the body of the baby. So there is a 10 step I have to consider before I judging to stop or not stop, or I mean to support abortion or not to support abortion, because you know when we come to like in the medical or in the health, there is certain thing we have to consider, like when abortion is permissible, when abortion is like also allowable for the mother, for that woman, especially for example if there's any kind of rape, if she get like pregnant with a rape from different strangers, even from her relatives, from her father, brother, or any kind cousin or anywhere, uh, she can have a right to abort it. And also, if there is like certain steps towards her economic growth, if she is unable to raise that child, she can have that right to terminate her pregnancy. The third one is, if she is mentally ill, if she has like a mental disorder, or if she is unable to raise that baby after she got birth, she can still have a right to terminate it. There is also another chance when she consider to terminate her pregnancy, especially if that pregnancy is a worsen, or if that pregnancy make a lot of health complication on the mother. She can have a right decision to terminate that pregnancy. So by considering this all four criteria, still, we can practice abortion in my country, in the world. It was not permissible, but the new declaration is about, abortion on request. Abortion on request. That means she can have a right to terminate her pregnancy uh, without any circumstance, without any criteria. This kind of idea is not good because as my brother told us, from the point where the fertilization starts, that means when one person is formulated in the womb of the mother, you know, it is so like you have to consider that thing as human being from the beginning. After 72 hours of sexual intercourse, what we call a zygote will be formed. So that zygote become uh, duplicated, like from one cell to two cell, then 4, 8, 16, then 64, 100, like that. So it become like grown up. It become grown up. So we can say a 1 day or a 2 day or a 3 months baby is a man or a girl or as a person. We can perceive it like that because that baby is grown up in the mother's womb starting from the day of fertilization. By considering that, I cannot even supporting abortion for all mothers because it may have certain side effect. She may have a lot of side effect from making abortion. For example, there might be like bleeding after she get aborted. There is infection. There is also uterine perforation. Her uterus may be like perforated. That means while doing certain procedure, the procedure may fail and she may lost her womb and she may never get another pregnancy. The other one is there is another chance that her pregnancy will be aborted spontaneously after she get married when she wants. You know what I mean? Like if she like make an abortion at the first level, at the first pregnancy, then the next pregnancy have higher chance to be aborted. So that mother may complicated with having a child, having a baby in the future. So you have to consider this all in all, abortion is like I've already mentioned. I do support if it is in that four criteria, like if she's unable to raise that baby, like physically or mentally, if she has no capability to raise that baby, and also like if she's raped from anybody actually, if she's raped from anybody, and also if that pregnancy make like life threatening condition to the mother, and also even if the pregnancy is not going to be successful, if the baby have a major disorder in the mother's womb, it is going to be terminated at any time. At any time, we can come just terminate it because if the baby come out of the womb and not even continue his life like a normal person, she don't have to worry about it. So she can terminate. Then on request is so it is so difficult, especially when you take this consideration to the religion. It is completely um, completely a crime against humanity, especially if you took this issue into the religion, it is like murder, it's like a killing of a human body or like a human person. So any religion cannot support it. But I've already mentioned I still support with that confidence of interval, like I've already mentioned with the four criteria. Unless and otherwise, it may have a lot of side effect for the mother and also for anybody. So this is my point of view. If you got actually, my body is my choice. My choice, my body is my choice. She may take this as her slogan, because we don't have any ground to against her slogan before we know what is her deep intention to use this slogan. But if it comes to the abortion, what about the body of the baby? Already that baby is formed in the mother's womb, so he have a right, or that baby, she has a right. So when she say my body is my choice, what about the body of that baby formed in the womb? So what I have to say is her choice should have to be before she get pregnant. Yeah, after she get pregnant, the baby have a right to a life, Anybody can support that pregnancy, or anybody can continue the life of that baby after she give birth. Yeah, there is a lot of like orphanage, an institution or rehabilitation centers, so they can give her support. But so she have to even consider about that baby. He's a human being. Still, after 72 hours of sexual intercourse, that is like a human being. He have a life like our life. So we have to consider that too, because that baby may be like grown up and the president of the president of one country, or a guy who make a lot of contribution for changing this world. We don't know about that guy. We don't know about him. So still, I cannot support her slogan because she's not considering about the right of the baby, even the right of the father, the right of the father. Yeah, because this is a natural law. Yeah, the father, or I mean, the guy may want the baby, but she don't want it. So even the baby is already formed, and this is like an irresponsibility, before they just get, before she get pregnant, she can still have a right to terminate it. She can still have the right to make that pregnancy unhappy. But after that, yeah, I don't even support her slogan.
Let me start from something important here. You know, nobody's basically have the right on his own body. By the way, to be frank, because also scientific explanation might tells us everything that we want to have in this world. The fact is, from perspective of the God or creature, it's something that disrespect to have such kind of practice. Also, people might think what to do, or to have some solution over the problem that they might encounter. But the fact is, I personally feel that it's the problem start from our understanding. People's understanding and thought over their body, and overall over the world is somewhat it is fluctuated for so many reasons. Otherwise, nobody really had the right to do anything that he or she likes over his body. So it's God's will that has to be mentioned over such kind of situation, I think. Just to share my view over here, you know, as basic theory, we learned that there's a principle called theory and what postulate. I think everyone knows. You know, when we say the right of people, sometimes we confuse what is real and what is practically coming to the earth. You know, basically, from perspective of our religion, not our religion indeed. It's also the truth over the world. Such kind of practice, I mean, abortion, is not basically allowed. But through time, when people came up with problem, they always look for solution. That's why nowadays abortion is becoming as a legal issue. Even most of people, particularly the one who consider themselves as intellectual, encourage people to have abortion or termination. But you know, this is getting serious in this world. You know, rather than doing such kind of practice, I would like to know that people are just teaching everyone what to do, just to have a better personality in developing. When you see, of course, Ephraim mentioned it well. When we see, it looks for a time being as a solution, but the effect behind abortion is becoming very complicated things. For example, most of people who are aborted have high chance of infertility, which is very much critical in life indeed. So in this regard, I personally discourage, individual to have abortion. This is the main and the major view that I can share here. Apart from that, there is also, disrespect of individuals who has got abortion or termination. So although Ephraim mentioned it well scientifically, but from perspective of religion and as well as from the perspective of individual who are just facing the challenge with abortion, you know termination is not as such significantly important for people who are having termination. Rather, I personally prefer to teach people not to have unwanted pregnancy, rather to have, you know, well educated over what to do in protecting. Also, there are cases where rape might happen for individuals. Still we can teach people not to rape every every the thing that we are looking over. That's my view in this regard. In my view, as I mentioned, we shouldn't really inform people for their short-sighted problems. Rather, I always encourage people to know, everything as much as possible, rather than having problems earlier before. In both sides, we mentioned that there are a lot of problems that could happen for people just in becoming or in such situations. So it's always better to teach people, to tell them the fact that could happen behind, rather than putting some solution for them. That's what I can mention in this regard. Otherwise, abortion is a crime, both in personal aspect and as well as in spiritual aspect. That's my feeling actually.
My thought is that any adult, any competent adult, has a choice to make any decision regarding their life, including pregnancy. That's my belief. But sometimes the rights can be restricted. The reason I say is, like, for example, you can say my body is my choice, but it doesn't mean you can hurt yourself or you can kill yourself. It is in fact illegal to hurt yourself. It is you can't be incarcerated for trying to harm yourself. That's punishable by law. So that's how I understand it. Up to certain level, you can decide to terminate your pregnancy. That is on the condition that you have no capability to care for the child. The reason I say is, on the definition, I sometimes try to read the legal definition. There is a definition for health. So on that definition, it also puts economic health. It doesn't. It includes economic health. Your financial health is included in the definition of health. So your social health, psychological, and physical health is included in the definition of the word health. So if continuing that pregnancy may compromise your financial status or may compromise your physical or psychological health, I believe you have a right to a certain extent. That is, to extent by which that baby is defined viable or legally defined alive. So that is after 23 week or 24 week. After that time, the baby has its own right because he is alive. The baby has equal rights as the mother to a life. So that is my belief. Up to that, if you believe it might compromise your health, including your economic health, you have a right to terminate it. That is under the condition that you are competent, meaning you should be competent. You should understand the risks. You should be able to understand and weigh every risk and benefit. So, based on that condition, you have every right to decide up to certain level. That's my belief. But after that, the baby has also its own right. He has a right to life. So, they say many studies show that after 23 weeks of pregnancy, the baby can survive without, if it is delivered, even if without any intensive care. So, if it is after that, the baby has its own right to life. So, the mother cannot harm the baby or terminate it. But before that, mentioning I think she would have every right, but it should be conditional, meaning if it compromises her health, including her economic status, if she says, I cannot care for the baby, or if she says, I am not psychologically ready, or mentally and economically prepared for that baby, I think she has every right to terminate it. That's my belief. This my body, my choice
Thank
is
you
not
very much.
unconditional.
I think I'm trying to say that a woman can reach up to 4 months without knowing she's pregnant. I don't know what the woman's.
I don't think. I don't think if she's, well informed, I don't think she will go 3 months without knowing she might be pregnant. Menstruation comes every month, right? So if she's sexually active and if she miss any menstruation, she should be able to suspect she might be pregnant.
I don't agree with the quote "my body, my choice" because since the woman carries another human being, for me it's like a murder. And when it comes to spiritually, the Bible, also the Quran, told us that it's not totally unacceptable. So I don't agree with the quotes.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Okay, sure, we can.
Okay. So let's take our country, for example. Contraceptive is not widely available. Our economy is, our financial status is very compromised. A majority of women would have many children they cannot take care of. Unemployment is very high. So, on this state, wouldn't it be better a woman willingly terminates her pregnancy early than end up with a child she cannot take care of? A child that will not be well, that will not have security, health-wise, financial-wise, every-wise, that cannot be well, that might someday end up being homeless or other, like, end up dangerously. Wouldn't it be much better to terminate it earlier if she is willing and if it is her choice? Wouldn't it be much better? And if she cannot have a protection available, how is that against her? How can we force the woman to go through all that because she did not have a contraceptive, because she have an accident one day? Does she have to go 18 years, 20 years in trouble because of that?
So what do you mean by terminate earlier? Does that mean like using birth controls or what?
Now, birth control is not termination; it's prevention. But if pregnancy happens, she has earlier means before it is dangerous for her and before the child is viable, meaning before it's alive, technically, up to 3 months, maybe.
It's actually it's like it's an abortion for me. Whether they control earlier or whether control it late, it's an abortion for me. So it might be the woman may get raped or the birth comes accidentally. It might be comes accidentally, but you can use birth control before, or if it comes accidentally, or yeah, if it comes accidentally, you have to born the child, or you have to give the you have to give the birth. That's my point. You have to give the birth, whether it comes early, whether it comes later. You have to give the birth if it comes.
Even if a raped woman, even if she get raped,
Yeah,
she should be able to keep.
definitely.
She should be forced to keep that child. Is that what you are
Yeah,
saying?
she should definitely keep the child.
Oh, I definitely disagree with that. I do not
Okay,
agree with
why?
that.
Why you
Let
don't
me,
agree?
yeah, let me tell you the reason.
Okay.
Let's say, for example, there is, especially in our country, this harassment, rape is very common. Let's say a 13-year-old child got raped
So
and
she
got
can use
pregnant.
birth control. She can use birth control if
No, no, no.
she
What
gets
are you
raped.
saying? No, no, no. Let's say 85% of our women live in a rural setting, in a very undeveloped setup. They cannot easily access a health facility. They cannot get Plan B or any protection after that. So they might not even be well educated to know that they might get pregnant. They
Okay,
may
let me
not
tell you
even know that.
my opinion. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
They can't get. They have no access. They might get an access to get the birth control, right? You say that they might not get the access.
Yes. Yes.
So
Not only
if there
birth
is
control.
no,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
huh?
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so if there is no access of getting birth control, they should, they should get birth. They don't have to abort the child. That's my point, and that's my opinion.
So a 13-year-old child that got raped and got pregnant should keep the child and get birth after 9 months. Is that your
Definitely,
bill?
yeah, that's my point.
No. No. I don't think even the religion would support that. Do you know?
Yeah, the religion,
Do,
in the religion, spiritually, if you take it spiritually, in the Bible or in the Quran, abortion is not totally acceptable.
no, no, no. Always it considers the health of the woman. Do you think a 13-year-old
It
woman
didn't
is
say
going
that.
to be held?
It didn't
No, no.
consider health.
Let's assume that a 13-year-old got raped and got pregnant. Do you think she will be healthy after that? Even if she delivers? She will not be healthy. One,
Mm.
she may even develop many complications. A friend might help me. I think he's a health professional. She may even develop like fistulas, even others. Even she might die in labor because of that pregnancy. She psychologically might be devastated. She might even commit suicide because of that. Her life would be terminated. Do you get what I mean? She would be economically dependent. She cannot take care of the baby or herself. She's a minor herself. So, how do you expect her to bear a child because she got raped, because she was forced to have that child? How do you expect her to keep it? I mean, even as a human, do you feel let's say, do you have a child or a sister?
No, I don't have a child.
What do you think, Ephraim?
Okay, thank you. We don't need to like agree on one thing because the case of abortion, the debate is never end. It never end because it started from 1968 and it go like this because some people believe in a private right, like we've already mentioned here, like my body is my choice. A lot of people believe in public rights because of unborn baby. So this debate is not going to be like sum up or like to one line because of these two different things because uh, there's a lot of opinion. So what we have to do is like we have to consider the effect of the abortion. After that abortion happened, there is a positive effect and also there is a negative effect. Like we've already mentioned, there's morbidity, sterility, or any kind of infection related to abortion. Like to the positive one, she may make a suicide from that pregnancy if it is not terminated. She may make a suicide, or the baby may be not raised in a very ethical way if she gave birth. So there is a different perspective regarding this condition. But what I have to talk about is how just we reduce the abortion, or what is the cause of the abortion. What is the cause of the abortion? As you know, abortion is conducted in the world, especially only this year, around 73 million induced abortion was held in the world. The cause of that abortion is when we see in the percentage, 61% is because of unintended pregnancy or unwanted or unplanned pregnancy. When we say unintended pregnancy, it is either unwanted or unplanned. If the pregnancy is not planned, it a cause for an abortion, and also if it is unwanted or unplanned, you can call it unintended pregnancy. So it may be different from region to region, especially in our country. The abortion rate is increasing currently. You can see from region to region it may be different from one region to another. Like for example, in the northern Ethiopia, 6.1, that means uh, around 6.1% of all pregnancy is ended, like terminated with a case of abortion. In Nazareth, 2.23%, around Bedelle, 30.9%, Central Ethiopia, that means in Addis Ababa, around Addis Ababa, it is about 6.7%, in Kombolcha and Desse, 9.05%, around Asala, 40.6%. The increased number of abortion is in the Asala town. It is 40.6. So in Hosanna 2.5, around Fiche 8.4. So in Ethiopia even the rate of abortion is currently increasing because of what? Because of unintended pregnancy, unwanted pregnancy. I have one paper. It is already published on the international journal. You can find it like by my name, Ephraim Yohannis, unintended pregnancy and associated factors by Ephraim Yohannes. You can just Google it from the Google. You can get it. So we've just interviewed around 514 mothers, pregnant mothers, about their pregnancy. For your surprise, around 297 mothers, that means 55% of 540 mothers, reported that their current pregnancy is unintended, unplanned, or unwanted because of many reasons. Because of lack of awareness about contraceptive, lack of education about contraceptive, inaccessibility of the contraceptive, and also usually to especially France, a lot of mothers in the area they want or maybe male or female. So until they get a male or until they get a female, they get pregnant. But that pregnancy is unwanted. But they want a male or a female baby. So this unintended or unwanted pregnancy is a cause for abortion in a lot of regions because if the pregnancy not planned or not wanted, she have to terminate it. It's what she think about because of her economical background, her mental problem, or any
From
another
my
issue.
side, abortion can sometimes be a treatment. Which I mean is, like, sometimes you get sick, sometimes you get unwell, and you get treated. So my belief is sometimes abortion can be therapeutic treatment. The reason is, let me tell you one. Actually, it's not a story; it's a fact. The
Okay.
reason, the reason abortion service became more available in Ethiopia is if a woman gets pregnant and if she wants to terminate it, and if there is no service for it, or if we deny that service, she will not accept that. She would rather go for other unsafe and illegal methods, and she will end up with infection, complication, and she might even lose her.
What are these unsafe methods or illegal
Yeah,
methods?
yeah.
What
Sometimes
are
they,
those?
yeah, sometimes they take some herbal medicines. They even put some foreign bodies into their reproductive organ. They sometimes hurt themselves, try to induce mechanically remove it. This is what happens, and majority of women end up with infection that complicates, and they might even lose their life. So that was even the fact was the number one leading cause of maternal deaths in Ethiopia was unsafe abortion. Before this service became available, it was unsafe abortion. But later, when this service became available and it became allowed, the number one leading cause became this hypertension, bleeding, and other like obstetric complication. But before that, it was this unsafe abortion, the leading cause of maternal cause. Still 400 something women still die every year from 100,000 pregnancies. You know that, right?
Yeah. So there is safe and unsafe abortion. There are safe and unsafe abortion. So if it is safe abortion, it's it's recommended, as you said, right?
Now, safe
And
abortion means
it's okay. It's okay if it's safe abortion. It's okay, right?
what I believe is uh, yes, true, safer. Yes. What I believe is there should be a condition. Just because she has a choice doesn't mean she should be able to terminate any pregnancy. So what I believe is, if the pregnancy compromise her health, her well-being, or if she cannot take care the baby, if she cannot possibly take care for it, she has a right. This means if she's under 18, if she's mentally incompetent, like there are some mentally incompetent children that got raped and got pregnant. They cannot possibly care for the child or themselves. They are themselves dependent on other individual. So, like those individuals that got raped, this incest relations, like sometimes women come raped by their father, their uncles. This is incest. If this is the situation, she should be allowed to terminate it, including if she's financially incapable. So that is one part of definition for health. So if she's unhealthy, she has the right to terminate it before certain age, usually before 3 months.